Thank you for tuning into the Illinois Arts Council vlog. My name is George Tarasuk. I am the agency's Director of Communications. We are here today at Northern Illinois University School of Music with jazz guitarist and Illinois Arts Council Fellow, Bobby Broom. Over the course of a 40-plus year career, Bobby has appeared on over 60-plus records. He's played, toured, recorded with the best of the best. Miles Davis, Stanley Turrentine, Kenny Burrell, Sonny Rollins, just to name a few. He was born and raised in New York City's Upper West Side. He attended grad school at Northwestern University in Evanston, and today he calls Evanston, Illinois, his home. He's active with the Ravinia Jazz Mentor Program, and he is an associate professor of jazz guitar and jazz studies here at NIU. Bobby, thanks for sitting down with me today.
Thanks for having me, George.
You took up the guitar at age 12, and 5 years later, you're sitting on stage with Sonny Rollins. Not just any stage, but you're in Carnegie Hall. Okay. Tell us a little bit about that experience, your friendship with Sonny Rollins. What's it like to play with this guy?
Well, there's a lot to unpack as far as all that's concerned. It was, a sequence of events that led me to that situation. My relationship specifically with Sonny, though, was kind of a mentor-apprentice relationship. He, in a way, kind of discovered me in that he allowed me on his stage, and kind of nurtured me at a point in my development that was relatively early, but he wasn't the first. It began with actually with a gentleman named Weldon Irvine, who was a pianist and composer, playwright, lyricist. Prior to that, one of Sonny's colleagues and musician friends, Mr. Al Haig, who played with Charlie Parker. He was a piano player in Charlie Parker's group and on recordings. I think Weldon took me out to go sit in, and we wound up at one of Al Haig's gigs. I sat in with Al Haig. He invited me to start playing with him. So kind of magical occurrences. So it was just a matter of them seeing something in me that they admired and believed in, and giving me an opportunity.
Right. Any other performance memorable?
Every experience with any one of those greats, the ones you mentioned, getting to play with Stanley Turrentine. This is someone whose records and the sound of his saxophone and the songs, the sound of his music was my inspiration as a 14, 15, 16-year-old. I would spend hours in my room listening to music and just kind of dreaming and practicing and absorbing the sound, and then to be on the stage and to hear that same sound right next to me was an incredible feeling. Similarly with the organist Charles Erland, who was probably my entree to jazz music even before I knew what I was listening to. My dad brought home a record of his when I was 10 years old. And this record had some pop songs from the radio, Age of Aquarius and More Today Than Yesterday, and songs that I had heard. And so that was the attraction to listen to this album that just kind of had a cool cover. So I put the music on, and they were instrumental organ versions of these pop songs, and I was just enamored with this record. Before I cared anything about jazz, I wasn't even playing the guitar yet. So this was kind of my musical upbringing, and helped to develop my aesthetic along with pop music and the radio. And so to then wind up on stage and in the band and on recordings with Charles Earland, these are like dreams come true for me. So every one of those situations kind of represents that. Yeah.
You've devoted so much of your career to education. Here we are, Northern Illinois University, one of the greatest jazz schools in the country. What is it you like most about working with young people?
Well, it's been a long road for me, and I've arrived here and developed a real love and passion for sharing what it is that I have gleaned over all these years being in this field. So just as the musicians that I mentioned earlier saw something in me that they admired, I understand now that feeling, being probably older than they were at the time that they did this for me. But when I hear or encounter someone who has a certain kind of passion, who has listened and absorbed the music in a certain way, with humility and love, that comes across in some way. It can come across in the way that they express themselves, either about the music verbally or through the music, via the music, on their instrument. So these are things that are apparent to me, and they inspire me and make me just want to help and give everything that I have with all that I have. So
You received an Illinois Arts Council Fellowship in 2023, Music Improvisation. How did this award impact your work?
Yeah, well, I'm extremely grateful and proud of the award, first of all, so thank you, Illinois Arts Council. One of the benefits of the award, in addition to the recognition, is the support that it provides. Much of what I do as an artist is financed by myself and my family. And so, although I've grown accustomed to that kind of output, and my family has as well, this is very welcomed, and it allows me to continue doing what I'm doing, but it lessens the burden, right?
It's not as stressful.
Yes.
You can focus on the work.
Yeah, and the work being the music, and there are lots of other components and moving parts to that work, but it all requires funding. Yeah.
Okay, enough about music. I understand you like a good basketball game every now and then.
Yeah.
Who do you like to watch?
Well, because of I was a Knick fan from childhood, because it was during the days of Walt Frazier and Earl of Pearl Monroe. I remember when Earl of Pearl, who was, they were like rivals when Earl was on Baltimore, on the Bullets, when they were in Baltimore. And then he came to the Knicks, and it was like, oh my God, what? Walt Frazier and Earl of Pearl? And, they had Senator Bill Bradley and Dave DeBuscher and Willis Reed, and with the championship with Willis coming out with the hobbled leg. And yeah, I was a huge Walt Frazier fan. Then when I'm in Chicago and the Chicago Bulls emerge, So I got to experience that. And then the Derrick Rose phenom. And then the heartbreak of that injury. And I remember the feeling of that night when that happened. And then the 180 in the feeling of hope. Because that team was about to win a championship. I don't care what anybody says.
This has been a blast.
Oh, good.
A real treat.
Yeah,
Thank you so much,
appreciate
Bobby.
it. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in. Again, this is George Tarasuk with the Illinois Arts Council. Special thanks to Bobby Broom, Northern Illinois University, and the film crew from Governor State University, IFDI.